Hello, welcome to A Simple Life with Cal. So, I wanted to give a little bit of an update on Merle. Merle is still at the animal hospital. He ended up with pancreatitis, and I actually know what it was caused by. It was completely my fault when I brought up a bunch of the pig hooves and some shoulder bones and stuff like that. I had a bunch of offcuts of meat, and there was a bunch of lard and stuff on them. I didn't think much of it because, you know, I've never had an issue with my dogs eating the offcuts, but I realized what probably happened is there was more lard in there than should have been, and I didn't know that dogs cannot process a lot of fat. So I kind of poisoned my own dog. I learned a good lesson. He will be perfectly fine. I took him in and they said his gut was empty, which kind of went on what I was hearing when I tried to listen to his gut. I didn't hear anything. He was a little dehydrated and they wanted to do blood work on him. So when they took a look at his blood work, his levels were 6 times the level they should have been. And so they said, hey, we're gonna keep him for 24 more hours, if you'd be okay with that. And we're gonna put him on liquid antibiotics just to make sure that we can get everything under control before he comes home. And so that's what's going on. Typically, we don't use meds on our dogs. I mean, on our animals. We try to do as many natural remedies as possible, with the one exception of our dogs. I don't plan on eating my dogs anytime soon, or ever. And so because of that, I don't mind using antibiotics and stuff like that. Now, the good part is we don't have a big issue with worms up here, like heartworms. We don't have the mosquito that carries heartworms. So we don't need to give them heartworm medicine. But we do give them their typical vaccines. I think we give them 2 doses when they're puppies, and then we give them rabies, obviously. We have to do rabies. I would do rabies no matter what with a livestock guardian dog because of what they come in contact with. But yeah, so learned a good lesson. Not happy about it, but I still got my dog. I learned a life lesson, a great lesson, and now hopefully you won't do what I did, which is feed your dog pork scraps that are covered in lard. I had no idea, never heard about that. So, and we've been feeding our dogs raw for almost 15 years, and never come across that. But we'd also never fed them the offcuts of pigs. I'd fed them huge chunks of meat. I fed them the bones. I fed them some cuts, but never the amount that I had. And it was only 1 dog, so I think that's what really did it. In the past, I had 2 dogs, and so there was obviously a little bit of sharing that happened. Anyways, that's the update on Merle. He should be back tomorrow morning. I just went and checked on the goats. They've been out for 5 days now, and they have been doing great. They're just grazing down the blackberries up on the other side of the firewood. And they actually just walked back down the ravine, so they're in the original area that they were in. And so it's great to be able to let them kind of roam like I do in the winter. I was hoping I'd be able to let them do that in the spring and summer as well. And what I've found is, as long as there's plenty of feed up here, they don't come down this way. That may change over time, but so far that's been the case. As long as there's plenty of food that way, they don't bother to come down this way. This is not a permanent solution. I'm gonna get the fencing tightened up, so I'll have at least 2 pastures over here. So I'll have a pasture on this side and a pasture on that side, up in that direction. So I'll be able to let one, I don't wanna say, it's not really a pasture, a forage area. I'll be able to let one forage area get really thick and bushy while they eat the other one down in early spring, and then switch them over, and then let the other one kind of recover, and then switch them back. So that's the idea, is to at least have 2 areas, if not 3 or 4, especially as the herd grows. They're gonna need more. But yeah, it's doing good. And so far I haven't had to go in and it's not that I'm going to do it. I haven't gone in and started doing the thinning of the hazelnut and the big leaf maple. So that will be coming in the next probably a few weeks. Usually I start doing it right about now. All right, well, that's the update on Merle. I'll probably include this update with the rest of the updates going forward on him. Okay, so I am doing the final kind of assessment of what I need to do to get this sealed up, put my roof back on, and get this into a refrigerator again, or turn it into a refrigerator. It used to just be a little cellar house. So I'm almost got the floor dug out. I'm digging it down about 8 inches, and then I'm going to put down some insulation, and then I'm going to put down concrete on top of that.
You know, doing pure manual labor like digging this floor out, while it's hard on the body, it gives your mind so much time to process what's been going on. And for me, you know, I say this all the time, failure is always an option. And, you know, there are times that it just seems like every day is a new failure. But the one of the things that keeps me going is knowing that with all those failures are life lessons learned. And that's stuff that I can pass on to my children. And it's lessons that my dad wasn't able to teach me because he didn't have the experiences that I'm having. He didn't work with farm animals, but he taught me all kinds of stuff about building. And so there's all these life lessons that he did teach me. And I'd have to say, you know, doing this manual labor, especially after having a bit of a rough week and, you know, in some cases a rough couple of weeks, you know, it really gives me time to just let my mind clear and to think about things, and to also be able to share some of this time with Herman without the boys around. I love having the boys around, but sometimes I just need quiet. I just figured I'd share what kind of goes on in my head while I'm doing these menial tasks, you know, of swinging a pickaxe and a shovel. You know, it's for me, it's really mind clearing. On to another note, I'm working on some really exciting things for the channel. I'm trying to level up the audio and the video and a lot of the production side of the channel. Thank you for bearing with me while I'm failing forward on some of this. It's really, it's been really amazing journey to go through and be on. I think we're on episode 55. Thank you. I have a little surprise for you at the end of this video. Thanks for sticking around.
All right, well, the floor is dug out and leveled as it's gonna get for now. It's pretty darn good. I got some more cleaning out to do, but it'll have to be for another day. I'm done. That was more work than I wanted to do. Right, Herman?
Yeah, that's right.
He agrees. All right, so Merle, how you feeling, buddy? Merle's feeling a lot better. So he's gonna be on some meds for a few days. He won't be able to go back to Herman's for 4 or 5 days. But he's doing a lot better. He's happy. He's happy to see me. He hasn't rolled over and let me get a belly scratch in yet, but I'm sure that's not far along. His stomach feels nice and full. It's not so empty like it felt the other night because he's been eating some food and he's not in pain anymore. You can tell that he's not in an extreme amount of pain. Anyways, we just picked him up from the vet and we're gonna take him home. Come on, Merle, get out of the way so I can drive. You big bugger. All right, we'll see you guys.